Hello Weirdlings, I'm Sammie Reads, and today we're going to be talking about a part 2 to this video, or maybe it's over here, I'll put it here. It's a part 2 to this video where I'm going to answer all of your wonderful comics about realism in comic books versus creativity in comic books, and you guys have some very interesting responses, so let's get into it. Honestly, I thought everybody would have very different views on this subject, but it turns out that a lot of you actually have the same view. Like, a lot of you. Which is that there could be both. There's room for both in comic books, which, I mean, yeah, of course there can be. That's why they exist now, is because there is room for both, of course. But let's talk about some other comments instead. I like what Aggro said about consistency, because honestly, that's super important to the story at large, and the audience really appreciates and understands consistency. And if you're gonna say that Superman can't be hurt by bullets, don't show him getting hurt by a regular knife in the next panel. Like, be consistent. That's gonna take me out of it more than anything. Drake says, with the exception of Superman, that DC Comics are more realistic, therefore he can actually enjoy them more because he likes that aspect. And, you know, I've actually heard that before, that DC Comics are, their characters definitely have that element of realism of like, oh, this could actually happen. And I think that's interesting, and I think maybe that's why I enjoy Marvel Comics at times, because I can totally immerse myself in the ridiculous and crazy world. Which leads me to the next great comment by LD, which makes such a lovely point, which says that, you know, if you want an out of this world story, fine, great, that's perfect, good job writers. But you may want to consider adding a couple elements of realism into them, because if you don't, then how are we possibly going to be able to follow along? You know, their universe isn't our universe. We have to have something the same. First of all, Ryak, I love that you point out that the whole Batman versus Superman thing is super unrealistic, because it would actually be over in an instant. Yes, that is true. And I also like what you said, and a couple other people pointed it out as well, that it really comes down to the story and the characters. You know, that is something, I mean, I just can't agree with that more. Like, it doesn't matter if the story is super realistic or super creative leaning. Like, if the characters and the stories aren't something that the reader can feel really passionate about, then what's the point? If I care enough about your characters, then I'm able to look over some maybe small inaccurate details. I can't wait to see you guys next week for a brand new video talking about a brand new subject that you guys can comment on and then tell me how wrong I am. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe so that you too can join the Weirdlings family.